Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Movie Review. I'm your host, Xan. Say konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up?
I'm Greta. Hi.
Who has her lower third coming out first because it goes ahead. But anyway, welcome to our spoiler-filled episode review of that one that only Dune Part 2.
Or as I like to call it, Dune.
This is, well, let's be honest. This film is crazy and unique and weird. But beforehand, remember, if you want to check out any of our earlier episodes, you can check them out at www.spiraken.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and various other social media sites. And if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell for notifications for when we release new episodes. I know it's been a little bit of time because I had to fix my computer, but we are back up and running and excited to go. So, first off, what do we say about... We're not going to go in chronological order because that would be crazy. But this film is...
There's so much more fighting.
Well, no, it's not as long. The other one had 30 minutes of fighting. This one was not that much. This is literally 20 minutes.
There's like the big fighting, but this has like...
Oh, the guerrilla warfare, yeah.
With Austin Butler.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you see him, except for once, every time we see him in the film, he's cutting something, playing with a knife.
Killing someone.
Feeding something, body parts to somebody else. Like, ugh.
But let's start off with it. Yeah, so... Austin Butler is Fade. What a choice. I mean, because you heard he's Elvis. Then you watch his movie and wow.
He did such a great job as Elvis. Like, he was Elvis. And he is so not Elvis in this. He is way more talented than I thought he was.
In this movie, he is his uncle's nephew. He is out of his fucking mind. Yeah. And like, when we first meet him, he's playing with some swords and they just sharpened it because he's going to have a battle for his birthday to kill a bunch of people. And
that's how it starts with him.
Starts off by just killing someone and just...
as a treat on his birthday, as he gets to go kill people, they don't drug one of them. So one of them has all their wits about him.
But that's not...
As a treat. But that's welcome nephew.
But that's not the person that he kills. He kills one of his attendants. You'd think, oh, he's going to kill the guy giving him the swords. Nope. The girl he likes, he just cuts her throat. And she just falls to the ground dead. And
the other creepy people eat parts of it.
Supposedly, rumorly. But here's the other part. He fights this member of the Atreides family who was kept alive, not drugged because rumors are trying to kill him. But when he's fighting him, first off, they're fighting and he's wearing a shield. The other guy's not wearing a shield. And what he does immediately is turns off his shield and drops it. So they're fighting on even grounds. And then when one of his attendants...
It's very cocky.
Tries to poison him using barbs. Don't ask, it gets weird. Yeah. He's like, back off. Because he's
enjoying it.
And he has the sense of...
pride. Entitlement.
Pride and honor. A little bit of honor. Like, he's honorable.
The only saving grace about how gross some of that part is that that's like full on in black and white. So it's not as visceral as if you would have seen it in like red.
I like the fact that it's they used infrared to film that scene. And I love the fact that it's such a weird alien world where there is no color when you're in the actual planet.
Like the sun doesn't have color.
And then you see things like they're fireworks, but they look like blobs in the sky.
They're like jellyfish.
And it's kind of a cool sequence, even though it's like kind of horrifying. And then later on, he ends up making nice with a Bene Gesserit who's trying to trick him. Yes, but
he made more than nice.
Well, there's a reason for it, and they cut it out, because originally she was going after Paul.
He made something.
Yes, well, assumingly he made something. We don't know if she's going to die at this point.
But something's in the oven baking.
But yeah, so besides that, we also had more Bautista in this. And Bautista, in the first film, he is just a monster who gets angry and kills things. In this one, he gets terrified of Timothée Chalamet at one point, where he is officially Paul Muad'Dib, the essentially this prophet and terrorist leader, and you see him like...
He's like unkillable, though.
He is, but I love that the scene is they're flying, and they said, we can't find him, and Raban is so mad. He just straight up kills the pilot and says, keep going! It's like, if you want to do it right, do it yourself. And then the minute he sees Paul, he just about faces and runs away, and then...
Like, oh my god, he's really alive, he's still here.
And he has his moment, but then you have, on the other hand, going back to Fade's like, oh, they're in this area we kind of know about. Let's just bomb the shit out of them in artillery, which
is one way of doing it.
He's a monster, and I love that Fade is done that well. But this isn't the Fade Rotha channel. Let's get to some of the other elements that we have. We have Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, and wow, she does an interesting role because
it's a transformation.
Especially because she is playing pregnant through most of the film. That's one thing I'll say. The storyline in the book for books 2 and 3 in the first book, parts 2 and 3, that's over 3 years. They compress it down to 6 months in this series. So they speed everything up. So we do see progression of time through Lady Jessica getting a little bit of a baby bump and then a little more of a baby bump. But we also see her kind of start a cult.
Fully commit to being the
Reverend Mother.
Yeah.
But yeah, she starts a cult.
But she's also, when we first see it, when it opens up, which is right where they left off from the first movie, she is in the early parts of her pregnancy. There is like morning sickness. She's not feeling so hot. Like, and you're in a desert and you're trying to, survive. And she's still a badass. She can still like fight, defend herself. I mean, she's her own force to be reckoned with.
I like that after she kills the guy, they start harvesting all the Harkonnens for water, and she starts to, so Scar's like, no, don't do it.
She's gonna throw up, and she's like, don't, keep it in, keep it in, keep it in.
And this is not because it's unmanly or womanly to
you
vomit.
Gotta save your water.
You need to save your water, and
like they even say, you don't cry over somebody that you killed. You never give your water to somebody.
Well, that's a change of a line from the original book. Because in the original book,
but it's still the same thing. Like don't throw up. Like don't keep that in. That's your life source. Like keep it in, keep it in, keep it in. Spoiler: she doesn't keep it in.
Like I do. No, I agree there. But like the tear scene, they changed, and I don't think that was for the better because in the original book, Paul's crying over Jimus, and they're like, oh my God, he's giving his water to the dead, and it's such a tremendous moment. In this one, it's don't give water to the dead. They're just returned to the source, and that's what it is.
The way they take the water from the guys that they killed was kind of a little bit horrifying, and especially since one of the guys is still alive, and Zendaya's character, he's like moving his arm, and she's just like tapping him.
He was trying to kill them. So
100%, totally get it. Totally get the whole world that they built, but.
Oh yeah, this is a ruthless world, and in the first movie they kind of set up that Arrakis is rough.
There's no room for people to be soft.
No, and you see he goes. Timothée Chalamet learns all this from Chani and becomes this great warrior. But you see all the things he goes through and the culture of the Fremen, which is
really cool.
It's well done. The Siege Tabar looks amazing in this little. It's an underground civilization. You see all this, and then you see this water and all of this as well. They do change a couple of things around. Also, Josh Brolin back again. Everyone thought he was dead.
I recognize those footsteps anywhere, old man.
Yes.
I love that line.
Seeing Gurney back as well, and you see him actually with his Balith again. You actually get to see it this time, unlike the last time where I was like, yeah, it was supposed to be in the movie, but we kind of cut it out because we didn't want to...
he like sings and plays his Balith.
And he gets the fight between him and Raban, which, it's okay. I mean, because they don't really get into the fact that the reason why he has the scars and why he hates them is because he was a slave to the Harkonnens. They don't get into that. They cut that out. Also, it's a shame they got rid of Thufir. Because there's a whole thing with Thufir that was going to go on. They got rid of it.
Well, the book is always going to be better than the movie.
No, but they filmed that, and it's like he was there. So it's like they just.
It's still a long movie. It has a really great flow to it. I feel like we talked about it at the end. You were saying they could have had more. They could have put more in there, but maybe it would not have flown as well if they had more things in there.
No, that's true.
I mean, it was great. And
Timothée Chalamet, wow, does an amazing job in the film. As Paul, and you see the weight of the world, and something I like, you pointed out earlier, is that he is so, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I'd rather just go regular. Even though there's moments where he's like, you have to, like, the plot to make more people believe in me, he is fighting his best because he does not want to lose anything. He doesn't want to lose Chani, who he loves to death. And he knows that the only way for this to go through is he has to become the next emperor, which means he has to marry the daughter of the emperor. And if he doesn't marry the daughter of the emperor, it's all for naught. So he knows that their relationship is kind of damned or doomed. Mm-hmm. Even though the whole end of the first book, and if you watch the first movie, or the original movie, that whole sequence they take out and they change because...
And he tells her, I will love you forever.
Yeah. And
he means it. And he knows he's going to have to not necessarily betray her, but take additional steps. Yeah. And in this world, it's okay for men to have concubines and multiple wives. I don't know, but it's like a... Yeah, it's a
status symbol in that.
Right.
And
so the marriage to the emperor's daughter is strategic and...
It makes sense. And her the end of the movie is her going off on her own. And in the original version, it ends where Lady Jessica explains, like, listen, no matter what it is, history will see us as wives. You know, we're concubines, but history will see us as wives because we're the ones who have their children. We're the ones who... And this is just political marriage. But they don't give that because Shiana's like, I don't believe this. He's not the Muad'Dib, but I will admit that's
She doesn't believe in the Muad'Dib.
No. And when you do have that sequence when he becomes the Muad, that sequence is one of my favorite scenes, is where he's literally pointing out things to people, like saying, you're the ones who wishes that this person is dead, and you're glad of it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh my God. And
he knows things.
He knows this, and he rallies everyone together. Mm-hmm. And he becomes the monster that he's been dreading so much. Where he knows that if once he does this in his name, the Fremen will destroy the galaxy.
But he also tries not to do it, and he knows that if he does it or if he doesn't, it's still millions of people will die, and this is the path that he is on.
Like, he has to take this one way or the other, and that's where this is all going to go, and that's where this leads to his holy war, which hopefully the next next movie emphasizes this completely, I think.
But normally, a sequel, a secondary movie, if there's a trilogy, the second one is one of the weakest movies. But this is epic. This is not weak at all. This is a beautiful second movie that was very much needed. It was continuation from the first. It was like, it doesn't feel like a sequel.
It does, and it feels like its own thing, and the film is beautiful and dark and twisted. And there are some exceptional moments. I mean, just getting into the moment with Paul riding the sandworm that first time. It's horrifying and beautiful at the same time because you're like, is he going to die?
It's terrifying.
You were just giggling the entire time because the chairs went...
Because the chairs were... Yeah, it was 4DX. That's how you have to watch this movie.
But it is a nerve-wracking scene just because you don't know if he's going to die because this thing is huge. And this thing...
But apparently that was part of the prophecy, that he rides the grandfather worm.
Well, they set that up and that is more of the cult sequence. And should we talk about the hidden actress in the movie, Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yeah, because she's at all of the premieres. Like, it's not a spoiler. Like, she's in the...
As Alia?
We see her as the youngest...
Kind of. We see her kind of.
We see her... In his dream or in his...
In one dream. One dream. And the rest of the time, it's just Jessica kind of like talking like a crazy person, like, yes, we should do this. I know we should do this. And it's like...
Because the baby can talk. The baby can talk to the mom. In utero. And knows things.
Yes, because she drank the water of life, which gave her the memories of every single
While
thing.
pregnant. And the whole tribe was like, I can't believe we did this. She's with child.
And now his sister is essentially a grown-up in utero. Has the mind of an adult and has the memory of all their ancestors.
Nuts.
It's an insane premise.
There's one part where Paul is going to have to drink the water, which is poison, and it's horrible how they have to...
It's no, because it should kill most men, and he's able to survive.
It should kill all men. And it's going to be how he proves that he is who they say he is. And it's Chani who saves him.
That was added for the movie, and it's kind of...
I love that part. I think that they put that in just for the women. And it's the desert's tear that's gonna... He's not dead. It's as if he's dead. She's upset. She actually is a tough chick. She could tell her body not to cry, but she has a tear. She mixes it with the drink. She puts it on his lips, and he comes to... instantly. That's how much they love each other and supposed to be together. That's why they put that in the movie for the girls.
I mean, they could have kept the fact that they had a kid and they were living a happy, awesome life.
That would be nice too.
But then, of course, we see the kid die horribly.
I don't want to see that.
Because the Harkonnens are monsters. Also, a couple other scenes we got shout out for. The scene when, at the ending, when all of the, everyone's together, essentially, Muad'Dib is holding the Emperor and everyone hostage. Mm-hmm. And you see Gaia's Moham is back, and she's like, kill the abomination. He's like, silence! And she's terrified of him.
Yep. Abomination.
And she does not. That, and of course...
she falls backwards. Mm-hmm. She never moves backwards in either film except for that moment.
She
is solemn, she stands still, she walks forward, she'll sit down, but she never moves backwards. And when he yells that at her, she falls backwards. It's power.
Yeah. She flinches. And at the scene also, if you look at Fade's kind of like, ooh, how'd you do that?
He's like, I want to learn. Like a psychopath.
Yes. And also the Baron's fate is... I mean, it's kind of gross in the other version because he just dies because someone stabs him with a gum jafar. But this is more horrifying.
Some parts of this, I was really looking at the popcorn bucket. Not the popcorn bucket, that's the thing, but like the popcorn.
But overall, excellent film, well done. Some of the changes were a little different. The inclusion of the nuclear arsenal was a choice, but hey.
Relatable. Relatable choice.
The original film had laser guns, which they've already proven are not supposed to even be in this universe, because if you use a laser gun on a shield blows up. Enough said.
Clearly it doesn't make any sense.
Definitely have to watch this again to get some more evidence, but it is well done. Mm-hmm. So, like I said earlier in our spoiler-free review, I give this our highest rating of really, really cool. Watch this now. It is well done. I think it's one of the great ones. Do you agree?
Love it.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this again in theaters, though, before it gets out of theaters. And we are definitely going to get this by the Blu-ray, because I do have the box, which has room for part 2. So it's like, put the box in. It's like, stick your hand in the box. What's in there? Pain. Fear is the mind killer. The mind killer is the little death. The fear is the little death. Anyway, have a great day. And best lines, I gotta say, what was your favorite line in the film?
I mean, there's a couple. I really like when he's learning how to ride the worm, and there's the comment like, "Oh, this is your first one. Don't get a big one." And Chani's like, "Get a big one, make us proud. Don't bring shame to us." And then you see it, and it's massive. And Stilgard says, "Not that big." I don't know why. I just love that line.
My favorite line is also from Stilgar. It's when Paul is saying he doesn't believe in this bunk. He's like, I am not the Muad'Dib. I'm an outsider who's come here. I want to learn with you and fight with you. That's it. And Stilgar's like, he must be the Muad'Dib, because the Muad'Dib he's so humble. He'd never say he's the Muad'Dib.
Yeah.
That sequence, and the other one I would say is at the end of the film when Gurney tells him that the other Landsrat senators are not approving of his ascension. What do you want to do? And he tells them, send them to paradise. It is such a cold moment of, he is going to kill people.
It's a powerful moment. The other, okay, so if you get 2 lines, I get 2 lines. The other line I like is when Gurney is attacking and Timothée Chalamet's character is fighting him. He pops up and says that I'd recognize those footsteps anywhere, old man, and doesn't fight him, and they melt. Right? He's like, oh my God, you are alive, and there's the embrace, and I love that from the first movie. Recognize those footsteps anywhere.
It's a great choice to call back to the first film and
their relationship.
And they got rid of, and since they got rid of all the other elements with Gurney, I think that worked so well, because there's a whole subplot where Gurney thinks that Jessica's been the traitor the entire time, and he tries to kill her in this second part of the book, and he doesn't in this one. This one is just like, oh, he's just there, and he just smiles to her, and he's just kind of angry at Raban for scarring his face from an event that we don't know happened from years ago. And it's like, oh, it's been so long. And it's like, it's only been like 4 months. It's not like it's been like 10 years, which, again, I think they could have done the 3-year gap in the movie.
I think that to build this universe, it's so complex. I think they did a really great job with what they accomplished.
No, I agree. And I do hope that the next film does have a gap. It can't be just like, yeah, it's right afterwards.
We can speculate all we want.
Well, it's probably been approved, but we'll see.
It's gotta be approved.
But anyway, as usual, I'm Xan.
I'm Greta.
We're Gonzville. Catch you guys next time, and keep watching movies. See you later.